live.
We are. It's a great night. It's a mayor's update here in February.
Yeah.
First day above freezing in 21 straight days
Is that
of
real?
not reaching the freezing mark.
That seems unreal.
Well, that's why we're so good preserved.
Preserved.
You know, it's, yeah. Right? I know kids still like playing in it. Dogs like going out
My
in it.
kids
but
love it.
Old adults have been,
Yeah.
I'm not going outside. It's too cold.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we're going to start right off with a really big message tonight. I've been considering this for a long time, and I'm going to announce to the world tonight that I will not be seeking re-election as mayor come next October. That means there is still 8 months of stuck with Joe as mayor, and Joe wanting to run fast and get a lot of things done in those 8 months. I expect that Grayden and I will continue to do Mayor's Update as we talk about what's happening in the city and what we're completing. We've got some big things we're trying to get done.
So many things.
I'm going to tell you, it's been a hard decision. It's been tearful and happy, and Stephanie has helped a lot with trying to make this, especially since there's still 8 months left in this term.
Yeah.
So ready to do it, but wanted to share with the world tonight that I will not be putting my name forward in the 2026 election. I have got the world's greatest council, and I shared with them last night my views and where I was, what I would be doing, with the thought that if anyone or others in there would like the job, they'll have lots of time to plan for it.
Yep.
But with the thought that the job that we've done as a full-time mayor in our community and as a consensus builder in a council has got some incredibly big things done, that example can also come forward if anybody wants the job or wants to go forward with it.
And that's one of the things you've really been focused on throughout your 2 terms is making sure that everyone's cooperative, councilors cooperative, and then things are able to get done within the city. Well, and even if you don't all agree,
even from a governance point of view, that we can predict what needs to be done in the community, but we've got an excellent leadership team of directors in each of our departments that actually then can put those to action, bring them back to council to vote on recommendations. This council has been so great at letting that process follow through. Lets us have shorter meetings. It lets us make direct decisions, full committee work at council rather than 6 hours at a committee and then 6 hours at council, as some of the other municipalities around us do. I may be prouder of being able to have accomplished that camaraderie among absolutely diverse people. If you look at our council, and even some turnover in the 8 years, 2 or 3 people have died and left council, and we've been able to replace them with people that actually still fit.
Yeah.
And it works.
And if you look at the divisiveness across North America right now in politics, and the fact that in St. Thomas and Elgin County in general, people are able to work together and find a way to do it.
Regionally, we've tried to spread that good news and make that work too, specifically in St. Thomas and among our department teams, that no idea is too big. The answer is yes. But let's agree with the other guy. Let's hear what they're saying, or the other girl, and what they're saying and what else we can work on.
Yeah. And I love the way different councilors are willing to try things. Like, even if it doesn't quite fit what they exactly want to do, they're like, you know what? The majority wants to do this. Let's do it. And let's work together to accomplish it.
Yeah. You know that I spent a great deal of time, 12 years in party politics and the federal side. And I think that this works. When there's a nonpartisan edge, a friendship edge to all of the decisions you're making, even if you're not huge friends, but you have the respect and camaraderie to kind of move big projects forward because it's the right thing to do for all of us.
And we're starting to see that come together again. And I know you were in Ottawa. Stephen Harper was in Ottawa. Kretchen, I believe, was in Ottawa. And they were talking about how we need to work together as Canadians.
Yeah. And it just makes far more sense to quit pointing out why the other guy's wrong and start pointing out what you would do better, or at least an idea that you can put forward that others could grab on. And as the mayor, it's kind of what I've been trying to do for 8 years is say yes to projects that otherwise would have been ignored on the first day because we don't do it that way.
Yeah.
Well, I dislike that line. We've never done it that way, or we've always done it this way. Hey, how about let's just give it a shot.
Right. Like maybe.
Who knew we could do a weekly show called Mayor's Update for 7 years?
It just came out of nowhere.
And still get the type of response we get and the type of questions we get. And hey, don't think we don't get rude questions. Don't think we don't get told we're assholes from time to time. And don't think we don't talk about you the same way. But we do pick the good and the low-hanging fruit of what can be done through transparency in this office.
I think the key about it is we talk about it and we know that people are coming from a good place. So even if they're
everybody
coming
cares
at us, and even if it's frustrating, at the end of the day, we know that there's potentially something there. And then if we can find a way to work with that, then we can make St. Thomas a better place. Even if in the moment we're like, what? Why would you say that to me? And I think it's incredible to me that I came to you with this idea for Mayor's Update, and you said yes. Like, what other politician would be like, yes, we're going to do a live show?
Well, I will tell you the look of panic I've got from other mayors when I say we do this and we do it weekly.
Yeah.
And through COVID, we did it daily in a lot of cases. Right?
Yeah.
I can't do that. Someone might ask me a hard question and I have to answer it right in front of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, folks, that's your job, right? So let's do it. And yeah, I can be funny too.
Totally. And there was a question that came in is like, will the next mayor be doing Mayor's Update? And I have no idea. They'd have to agree to be in an open forum where anyone can ask any question. Right. So I don't know who the next mayor is going to be, and I would love to do it. Whoever it ends up being, I would love to do it.
Look, the offer is out there, and I'll be the first guest if you want.
I would love that. That'd be amazing.
Right? We can tell them how to do it right. If you remember, our first guest, I think, was Steve Peters, former mayor.
Probably.
Right?
Yeah.
And we had a great time.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a few comments up here, and I want to recognize Stephanie first. Stephanie doesn't watch many Mayor's Update because she lives with the mayor and gets it updated daily. But Stephanie's been helping us make some hard decisions this year about what we will do. Stephanie and I had a new grandchild on Christmas Eve. We haven't met her yet, but we've certainly FaceTimed, and we know that. But we'd like to spend a great deal more time with family, and so that's part of what we're doing. Look, and I've got some health things I've got to deal with this year too. Maybe a couple of hip replacements and some other neat things like that. Yeah. But I'm going to go haul out at being mayor, so it's great. I see a great old friend has made a comment. Sandra Dader-Spear, if you remember, she was the city manager here during some of the greatest growth that St. Thomas has ever seen.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And she talks about our cabinet colleagues, and it is true that we've morphed this council into one thinking concept of how to move St. Thomas forward. And it wasn't easy, but it works. And we've got a great team. It was kind of a sorrowful night last night when I shared with them that this was going to be my decision. But I said, look, we've all learned together how we can do this right. So, Sandra, thank you for coming on and sharing some of that today, too. And
she says, but I just want to share what she said as well. She says, with your council colleagues, you have created a tremendous legacy for your community. Congrats and thanks, Mayor Joe.
Yeah, well, didn't do
there
it.
It's going.
Yeah, didn't do it alone. And I have to be thankful of everyone I had. I will certainly continue to say this over and over. It's the best council I've ever seen. And it's made me look better. And sometimes just being the pretty face on a hardworking council works really well too. So thank you for that. As people join, we'll repeat that I've made the decision not to run in the next election. That's not till next October. August 1st, I think, is the last time anyone can put their name forward on a ballot. So we got lots of excitement this year. I know that I share this with Grayden a lot, but I watch politics like a sport. Wasn't too happy with the Super Bowl, didn't watch much of it, but if I could watch somebody else's election, I just love doing it. So this is going to be a fun year for me to watch from the sidelines and be the heckler from the sidelines, if you will.
Or advisor.
Or advisor. There'll be some great choices going on.
Yeah, and Stephanie, your wife, she's saying, this is a hard decision for both of us, but we want to spend time with family. Time doesn't wait. Shout out to our little Esme. She's watching.
Oh, great. Excellent. Hi, Esme.
And Esme is one of Joe's granddaughters.
Yes. And I get to see her this weekend, too, I think. So amazing. This should be fun.
Paul, he's the CEO of the chamber, and the chamber has organized a luncheon with the mayors. This is happening. I believe it's sold out. It's happening tomorrow. And he's saying it's going to be one for the ages. This one.
I'm sorry, Paul, but if I cry all the way through my talk and through most of the questions, it's just because I'm a bit soft. and we got lots of fun. I've spoken to Mayor Sloan this morning too, and so he knows what he's got to do now and say, and we look forward to having the three mayors, including Grant Jones. I've not had a chance to reach out to Grant. If Grant happens to be on tonight, sorry I didn't reach out, Grant. I've been on the phone all day to everybody, but I'll see you in the morning, and we'll see how it's going. So,
Jeff Wedlake saying you've been an amazing advocate for St. Thomas, Mayor Joe.
Well, I hope so. That's the purpose of being in this position. I think if you follow my Twitter, one of them, it says I'm the head cheerleader.
Yeah.
And I think that's, that truly is pretty adequate description of what a mayor should be. We do things right because we want to, but we better yell from the rooftops when we do things right and show other people and let them steal those ideas too.
We shout out from Sean Degg. He's the CEO of the Economic Development Corporation of St. Thomas, an amazing fellow. He's worked very closely with you.
Sean and I have
through the years.
Spent a lot of time together over the last 8 years.
And he's saying, thank you very much for all of your contributions to date. Looking forward to the next 8 months and truly the years to come that will build on the foundation that's in place.
Yeah, and I want to say that to be pretty clear. We've got 8 months to finish this job, and then we're not going anywhere. I'll be the former mayor. I'll still be around. We'll certainly have a lot of chance to do the advice that some former mayors had with me, and other former politicians. I know that it's been quite a great friendship, whether it was with Jeff Urick, with Karen Vecchio, with Rob Flack, and Andrew Lawton. We have to be able to communicate with each other to get things done in our community on behalf of the province or the federal government. So you just cannot avoid being friendly or making friends with your colleagues at other levels of government too. So I thank them for all of their input in making St. Thomas a better place. And if you look at some of the great economic things we've got from the province, could not have been done without the help of our friendships and the federal government too. They contributed a lot to attracting PowerCo and I know to our community too.
You talked about the generational change that both you, your council, all the different people that work in your departments at the city have been able to create in St. Thomas over the past almost 8 years.
Yeah, the depth of talent at St. Thomas was far deeper than I even thought it was, and I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
4 different city managers in my 8 years, but each of them have had talent that brought to us the ability to attract talent into this team. The financial growth and the revenue growth in St. Thomas will come as some of these industries really come online. That's not downplaying the industries that already are online, the Element 5s and the Format and Press Trans of the world, the Takumi and Amino. Look, we got lots going on, but some of the stuff we've done will pay a lot of future bills. Doesn't yet pay it today, and we've got a ways to go before the first batteries produced at PowerCo or the first graphites produced at Viano. But we got it.
Yeah.
We chose it. We said, let's go after it. Let's make it here in St. Thomas. And then, I mean, you and I have talked too, Grayden, that I'm as excited and as happy of what we've been able to do from a homelessness point of view, a mental health and an addiction point of view in our community too. Both ends of the spectrum are available to all politicians, to the whole council. And this council has decided, well, let's work together on these things. Homelessness on one end, economic development on the other. And so with great talent like Sean Dyke and with like Heather Sheridan and Daniel Nielsen on the other side, you can't go wrong when you surround yourself with people who will just make you shine for almost no reason at all. They're that good.
I remember you first came into this office and you had all these papers from the A-frame, right? So, and they're all like with Sharpie marker. It's like housing, homelessness, or how to help.
I should
the
find
homeless.
where we put those because many of those we could cross right off. So did that,
transit,
did that,
did
that, right?
All this stuff.
Hey, is it perfect? Nope. But I think we've said this more than once on this show, and I certainly have said it to council. We never thought we'd get perfection.
No,
we don't believe we can strive for excellence, for as good as we can be, and then we'll add more to it over time. And that's what our strategic plan is teaching us now. We've got some great efforts on our strategic planning, and most of it's getting done almost behind the scenes now. So So proud.
And there's so much more coming. We've talked about the potential for additional medical resources, whether it's a new hospital, bringing more doctors in. We have doctors.
It will not happen if we don't all work in the same direction to make it happen.
Yeah.
We've got a great physician recruitment team now, and we've shown some pretty good work this year. Got to match that again 2026, and we start to get where everybody's got a doc.
Yeah.
But if we don't work together on it, if there's one person standing on the sideline saying you're all wrong and we're not going to get that done, it will be harder for the rest of us to do the lifting that's needed. So it's all about working together.
And we've talked about that in terms of regional collaboration as well, in terms of resources. Like there's no point that there's no reason there should be multiple water pipes all running next to each other.
Right.
From different municipalities. Let's find a way to work together on that. Save the money.
Share this shared service idea that we've been working on for a long time with the municipalities around us. It's not easy, but it's worth the effort to make these types of things.
The savings are massive, and we're at a point where, like, across Ontario, infrastructure needs to be replaced, and it needs to be done as affordably as possible, especially at this point in our history when we're facing some of the greatest challenges Canada has ever faced.
Well, and some of the greatest growth, and you can be ready for the challenge, but you can't. If growth comes and you're not ready, they go somewhere else.
The will to win means nothing without the will to plan.
That's right. Exactly. Okay.
Yeah. My uncle had that on his T-shirt or something like it when I was like, that makes so much sense because, like, if you're not planning for it, you're going to miss out on it.
Failing to plan is planning to fail.
Nice. Yeah.
I like that one too.
Yeah.
So.
And it's like, you're talking about the recreational plan, the master plan, and planning for the different facilities. Right. So if the funding comes available, here's the plan. Right. You give us the money. We're going to make it happen.
Wow. And if you can't do it today, you do things like what we've done with the YMCA. You buy some time for the citizens of St. Thomas to actually have a place to swim and to do it at a cost-effective way. And then when we can, we move forward to bigger and better things.
Yep. We're just going to jump back into the question section here. Wesley Shaw is saying, thanks, Joe, for the dedication to the city. The last 7 to 8 months on being mayor. May your next journey be great. Thanks again.
Yeah, thanks, Wes. Wes has been a good friend for a long time of Stephanie and I, and he cares. He's probably one of the number one volunteers in our community. Right. So, way to go, Wes. Thanks.
Yeah. Shar is saying, Grayden, any thoughts on being the mayor? Joe could take your seat as the interviewer.
we could just switch jobs here. I'm technically inept, and Grayden has found that out.
No, that is not.
He's tried to teach me.
You're very well, but also like it's. I have a young family right now. This wouldn't be a time for me to do it, and there are a lot of great candidates out there that I'm looking forward to seeing throw their hat in the ring for this. I've got so many irons in the fire right now with different projects. I maybe when I get a little older and wiser, and I'd like to say it too. Is like I've learned so much from you in collaboration and how to provide proper governance just by watching how you manage the job that you have.
Right.
And it's supposed to be a part-time job, but you're here 7 days a week, basically available to anybody and everybody.
Yes.
So
because I think once you take on something of this effort, you should take it on with that in mind. So certain warning to anyone who thinks they might want to run for this job. You've got to think of it in a, can't tell you how many times Sunday afternoon it was, there's a fire or there's geese dying or whatever there might be. Yeah. And your reaction is needed and you have to be there. So, Margaret, you've asked, the election is 2027. No, it is October 26th of 2026 will be the next election for councillors and mayor in the city of St. Thomas. So, you can't even start to put your nomination papers in till May 1st. Must be in by August 1st. So that's when we'll start to tighten up who might be. And for anyone who's just tuning in, we've got a lot of viewers this evening. The mayor has decided that he won't be running in the next term, and that's what we're chatting about this evening. Yeah. Fran just made it really hit home. We're going to have to get me a new mug at Caps Off that doesn't say Mayor Joe. We can just get an X. Life. We can just get an X. Mayor Joe. Ex officio. Get a Sharpie. We can change that right now. Sharon Montgomery is saying, best of luck, Joe, with your decision. And Sharon Montgomery is the top trivia winner when we were doing trivia. Yes. Right. Like she just started. We almost stopped doing trivia because we kept sending the prize to the same person. Yeah. She's the best.
I think someone has just asked Steve Peters, former Councillor Peters, if he's going to be running for mayor. And he says, no, been mayor, done that.
Yes. And Steve is a great friend and a fantastic advisor. And I think he's moved on to the next stage of his life also. And is Steve, I know I can ask this question and know the answer, but you'll always be there to advise whoever the next person is.
And Stephen is an incredible community member.
Just love it. And so many answers I know are buried in Steve Peters. And so I still call on him for very much advice and even just to bounce ideas off. We've been lifetime friends and we'll stay that way.
Yeah.
Right.
And this just in, we've got a comment from Steve himself, and he's saying, "You will always be at your worship. I am grateful for the relationship we have had during my recent 7 years on council and the time before as MP, MPP working together in an amazing way."
That was a way of setting the pace for across Ontario for a way an MP and an MPP could work together. And then 8 years ago, when we both decided to come to council, Steve back to council and me to come to council, we had kind of thought through how this could work and how, that's some really neat way to teach governance and to have the ability to have a council as good as the council we've had. So I thank you, Steve. I will cherish our friendship forever.
Diane Nixon saying, "We're going to miss you as our leader. Enjoy your grandbabies."
Geez, Diane and I go back to my first run as MP.
Yeah.
Now, I think Diane was only 8 at the time. I think that's probably correct. No, I'm just kidding. But we were both much younger. We've accomplished great things together. If you add up the elections, I had 4 elections as MP and now 2 as mayor. So 6 elections without ever losing one, which is another thing John Wise, for those of you that may remember who John Wise was.
Yes. Yeah.
John just said to me once in my MP career, "Don't let the people send you home. Always make sure it's your decision when you decide the time has come." Well, Stephanie, we made the decision. The time has come, and the people won't be sending us home. We'll be sending ourselves there. So perfect. What else have we got?
We've got people wishing that you would run again.
Well, of course, but we hope we have set a pattern where other people will say, I now see how it can work. I now see how you have to behave as a council and not revisit things, not argue about decisions that are made, but let decisions that are made go and be thankful that council made those decisions and then move forward with even bigger and better decisions. And that's what I hope we can do much more of in the future with future mayor and hopefully with the majority of this council returning, remembering how to do it.
Margaret's saying, "Will that free you up for speaking like at my church as in the past?"
Yes, of course. But hey, look, I'll go to them mostly now anyway. I'm still out there. So for the next 8 months, I'm happy to. You got a spot for me? I'll try and pick a date where I can do it. And if not, then afterwards there'll be a lot more. I've been spending a great deal of time with my own church and want to carry on with that part of my life in a great way too, because I think I get a lot of guidance, even as mayor, from my religion. So.
Angelo DeSico is saying, "Thank you for all your hard work. It has been a pleasure to work with you and council."
Well, thank you. It's been, I think I said it last night. I'll continue to say it all this week. This is the best job I've ever had. And I was a member of parliament. But this was even better to me. It even had a more special edge to it because you have to have other people to help you do it.
Yeah.
And so I'll never forget how much fun this was, how hard it was, but how much fun it was to get individual people's problems solved every day of the week.
And they're direct.
Oh, no, it is. My garbage wasn't picked up. Well, let's see what we can do. I have a tree with a crack in it. Let's get the arborist out there. The snow is bad. Yes, it is. It's winter. It's Canada. Shut the heck up. No. No, the love of being able to solve individuals' problems.
Yeah. And Jeff Wedlake saying they might have an opening as a moderator for St. Thomas Happenings. If you've got some extra free time.
Don't put me in that.
Without, like what would you say? Like the cuffs are off, the reins are off. What would it be like? Feel like if you're not mayor there?
I plan on being this crotchety old man.
Yeah.
In my next life. Hey, you kids, get out of my backyard. I'm not sure you want me moderating anything. I've been for 20 years having to be politically correct to a degree, I've always allowed myself the opportunity to be funny. Not always achieved it, but allowed myself the opportunity. I'd like to as I said, I think I'll just be a crotchety old man. I'm going to keep the ball if it comes in my backyard. Get out. No.
Fran saying, I use humor to cope. Big shoes to fill, Joe. St. Thomas has grown leaps and bounds under your leadership.
Well, it's been a whole group of people doing it, but I'm happy to have been there. What Brad say?
Brad Bedford saying, thanks for all your work for the homeless, Joe. Very proud of your efforts.
Well, Brad's one of the ones on April 15th of 2019 was the night that I found out that our shelter was only a winter shelter. And Brad was helping at the inn out of the cold in those days, serving meals, and had lots of friends. And he said, "Hey, we made you mayor. How did this happen?" And I went, "I didn't know."
Yeah.
But look at the work we've been able to do from a homeless point of view. And Brad, you've been a big part of making me aware of what a real mayor can accomplish.
Doug saying, even though we all have our differences, there's more that we have in common than that separates us. It's great to see all the cooperation between all parties involved to make St. Thomas a better place to live in. Good luck on all your future endeavors, Joe.
Well, and that's part of the creed we all need to live by is, look, we almost all agree on 80, 85, 90% of things, right? So why don't we just work on those? When we get to the 10% we disagree on, then we'll already be pretty good friends because we've already solved a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So Doug, you're absolutely right. And I'm missing this in other levels of politics right now, where we want to say you're bad just because you belong to a certain party. Or we want to say you're bad just because you wear a certain uniform. And I remember that from sports too. But how about we work together on solving the stuff we all agree on? And when we run out of things, and we never will, when we run out of things, we'll accomplish the stuff we don't agree on. Right? It just will make the world a better place. I don't know. I sounded pretty hippie-like right there, but it just is.
Where's the long hair, Joe?
Yeah, well, it used to be. I've got pictures.
Oh, yeah? You've got pictures of you with long hair?
I do.
We're going to have to share those.
Oh, yeah. Working at the Sandy Bar in Port Franks.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah, kind of a commune kind of thing.
Love that.
Yeah.
Lisa Bolt saying, great work, Mayor Joe. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Scott Michaels saying, Joe, thank you for everything you have done for our city and community. St. Thomas is a truly better place to live and work in because of you. Thank you.
Yeah, great. And we're getting a few suggestions now of other people who might be great mayors. Go talk to them. I just remember 100 of my closest friends ganging up on me kind of and saying, you should be the mayor of St. Thomas, Joe. And it worked. So if you've got great candidates or great thought out there, get out there and ask them if they're interested, and then work hard on their campaigns, because no one can do it alone. It is not a one-person job. So.
Yeah, like you said, there's comments coming in. Sharon saying, Jeff Urich or Karen,
yeah,
Vecchio.
There's lots of people out there with the capability to do it, but the personal drive and the ability to have the skin thick enough to handle some of what you're going to hear. Right?
The personal
and
attacks,
laugh at it.
I think we've talked about that. I think that's the hardest thing for politicians right now with social media, is that level of nastiness and the fact that they'll go after your family, your friends.
I'm reading Dale Cummings.
Oh no!
Comment. Dale says, "Come hang out with him. He'll show you what a grumpy old man can do." And he's right. He's right. There are models in this community for how to be a grumpy old man. I think we'll look it up in the book and see if Dale's picture's there. Right? Yeah. Thanks, Dale. Great to hear from you.
Kim Destin from the fire department saying, "Thank you for everything, Joe. You put St. Thomas on an amazing path forward. Pleasure working with you."
Yes. Yeah. Well, we've got lots more shows before we even have to put somebody's name forward at this job. But thank you for saying nice things about me and the council that's been here to help do it. We've got lots to finish, and I don't want to kind of downplay that we're somehow done. There is many mammoth great things that can still happen in St. Thomas, will still happen in St. Thomas. And even in this next 8 months, I hope to start 2 or 3 of them that I won't see the end of.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's the strategic planning part of making a great community, is to plan today for 5 years from now.
Yeah.
And where we'll all be, we won't know that till
Mm-hmm.
till that day gets here. But if you plan well now, you will be in a good spot. And our strategic planning follow-up last night really proved that. We started talking about this newest strategic plan and realized so much of it is getting done behind the scenes by the different departments that we know we're in good hands because people have bought into the pattern.
Mm-hmm.
So perfect.
And speaking of planning, there was a question that came in about the potential fire hall that was over to the west of the city.
Yeah. There was a question this week. We've got to answer the question.
Email. Yeah.
Right? Okay. We put a temporary fire hall building set up in the Queen Street Indwell building.
Mm-hmm.
Because the land where that whole apartment sits of 45 units of great supportive housing was a piece
Mm-hmm.
of land we had set aside in previous councils to be a fire hall for the north end.
Mm-hmm.
For when St. Thomas grew north and west, we have to have a certain number of minutes where a certain number of firemen can be on site.
Mm-hmm.
So we said, let's make, we're not going to save this whole building. Let's use it for housing because it's important. It's owned by the city. But let's save a piece of it as a singular fire hall so that if and when we continue to the northwest, like we have done up on Sandy Mont Hill, we're starting to see subdivision work out there right now. And so we may or may not use that one bay fire hall to do that, or we may come up with a better way to service them and use that spot in the Inwell building for something else. Mm-hmm. And it could be anything. I don't know, a library branch, a small community center. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But we've saved it for city use, and it's there. And but it's not necessary now. It's not needed to meet the time goals of fire hall. Mm-hmm. So I think we're storing a ceremonial piece of fire equipment in there. The old fire truck spends most of its life there. But that was the answer to the question about when will we open the fire hall on Queen Street. We may or may not ever do it, but for now, it's still sitting there ready to go for us if we need to.
And for anyone who has questions, email them in. We can get the answers for you. We have another 7 to 8 months.
Oh, yeah. We'll left. What we don't answer tonight, we'll answer next week. So,
yeah.
Right.
And Rebecca Chenard is saying, thank you, Your Worship. Your impact will be felt for generations to come.
Well, I'm proud to hear it from some of these people. They work pretty hard in this community too. So.
She's the Director of Communications at St. Thomas. She's phenomenal.
Absolutely.
She's just come on.
Yeah.
Well, it's not I say just, but she's been around. She's had an amazing impact. Ursula saying, thank you so much for all the care and support you give to St. Thomas and for always showing kindness to me as well.
Well, thank you, Ursula. It's been great to have you as a friend, and I know Stephanie would say the same thing. Lots we can still do together, so let's continue to work on make our community a better place. Mm-hmm. What's Doug saying? Any advice on doing your own
podcast about local history, heritage, and politics?
Yeah, I got Steve to do that.
Yeah.
You know what? And Steve's got to find time to do some more of it. I know Grayden has looked at what else you could do.
That's the plan for this year.
To add a history bit to this. I always thought of myself as a real history buff. I remember my children when they were younger, the cry from the back seat was, "Oh no, Dad, not another old place." Until I became an MP and had Steve as a partner as the MPP, and the man knew everything about the history of Elgin County. And I thought I was pretty bright. I learned more by just being at the events with Steve and talking about the community work communities can do, while he talked about whose farm it was, what their dog's name was, what the dog's birthday was.
Yeah.
And it's just incredible to have learned history from a master. So going to do history in this area. Steve's certainly a great one to have on and do it. So.
All right.
Yeah. How are we doing?
I think we've covered the questions there. We've kind of gone through our the why and you know, what your greatest accomplishments are, which are the Cole's notes, is making sure that your council is all working together. The departments are working with council. You have regional collaboration. So collaboration, I'd say that's one of them. Housing, you know, that's another one.
Lots going on and so much happening. Even the discussion last night of the Almond Wilson piece that's going to happen on that old bubbling land around the old roundhouse and how contaminated the land is. But how much can be done when a private developer meets city integrity and want and the community around it saying, what a great place for housing. So, yes. Hey, Dale, what a great idea. I'm going to pass that on. He suggested that perhaps the station at the station.
Yep.
Could be an ambulance bay too, and I never thought of that. Where else we need to place ambulance bays? Thank you for. I'll steal that idea. It'd be mine. Now that you brought it up. Yeah.
Yeah, and the third element would be one of the highest ones would be economic development. The economic development you've been able to create with your different department heads, with the city, and then the different companies that have come here.
Well, there's an answer somewhere in this building or somewhere in the employment base of this community. When we say yes to it, I don't always know how it's going to happen, but I know where to next go. Through Lisa as the city manager and on to some of the departments about, I just said yes. So, what are we going to do about that? You can't make the mayor look bad. So how can we make this happen? And we have just the talent, the depth of talent here in the city of St. Thomas at the council level, through the administration side, and all the way through this city hall to get great things done. So somebody's got the answer. I just got to find out who it is. And then steal the idea, of course, because I'd be happy to do it. Right?
Well, Joe, thank you so much for this evening.
Well, it was. I thought this would be a more tearful night. I've been excited about sharing where we're headed and what we're trying to do. So, Dale wants $1.99 for that idea, so I think we can pass on. Maybe a free burger if that's not go to the ombudsman. We'll make it happen. Thank you all for your best wishes. We'll be back next week with more city work on what needs to be done, and hopefully some warmer weather, so we start to can report some potholes.
Yes,
and get them fixed. That's what we're here for. So, Grayden, thank you for your help with this announcement and getting it out there. We're going to send out a media release pretty soon and a nice letter saying how we made this decision, how we're going to keep it up.
The media release is out. Rebecca sent it out.
Way to go, Rebecca. You're the best. All right. So, we'll see you soon. All of you.
Check out the city website for more details. We'll see you next week.